Okay, welcome to the channel. In this video, giving you a step-by-step way on how to make palm oil. Watch several videos and there's no step-by-step ways on how to make palm oil in your own home, in the comfort of your own home, in a small scale or a small quantity. So watch this video to the end. I'll be teaching you what you need to know, how you would know that your palm oil is cooked, that is done, as in the first stage, how you preserve it, how you can pick them, how you can cook them, cook the oil and extract it. So watch to the end, you see. So first of all, what you do after you harvest your palm fruit, you kind of butcher them, cut them like this. Why we do it like this is for it to be fresh, okay? There's another method. Some people actually leave their own to get rot soft for it to come out. But what happens is that the oil usually has this sleeping taste on the sour taste in the mouth. It doesn't taste well, okay? But when you cut your palm fruit like this, all right, it leaves the oil very fresh. The oil becomes very fresh because the palm nuts are not rot. They are not rotting. Okay, so if you want your oil to be fresh, immediately you harvest it, just cut it up like this. Okay, butcher it. Then next step is for you keep it. When you finish cutting it up, the next step is to arrange them. You want to heap them up, so that what happens is that when you heap them like that, the heat, okay, can make the fruit soft so that you can pick them. Another method is you can get a rubber, put it inside the rubber, okay, and cover it. All right, and when you do that, the next thing you do is get some water, all right, and sprinkle on it, sprinkle on them, sprinkle on them. So just a little quantity, not much. Then you can now cover it, okay? Cover it and leave it for like a day or 2 days. 2 days it will be soft for you to pick. All right. Okay, we picked our palm nuts, and sorry, I didn't video when we picked them. So this is the palm nut on the fire. So what you do with the palm nut is that you actually boil them. This is when it is already done. This is how you know that it's done. Okay, you see cracks coming out at the side. That is when you know that your palm fruit is done already. So you can cook it overnight, or you can just cook it in the morning. Like this quantity is just 1 head of palm fruit. Okay, so that is how you know that your palm fruit is done. So you can use a sack bag and cover it, because what you do is the steam that actually cooks it. Don't use the cover of pot, because you do not want your palm fruit to soak up water while you are pounding. So use a sack bag and cover it, and use the steam, all right, to actually cook your palm nuts. You can cook it in the night against morning. Then in the morning like this, you just steam it. Okay, just get it warm. The reason for you getting it warm is that so that the oil, it can easily come out when pounding. All right, when pounding, the back of the kernel can easily come out. That is the husk. The kernel husk can easily separate from the kernel. So that is why you will need to steam it, all right, before you start pounding. Okay, so you pound until it's ready. I'm going to show you how you know that your palm is done, because you don't want to just pound a little bit and you stop. Okay, I will show you how when it is ready, you know that you have pound it enough and it is done. Okay, this stage now, you are still pounding, is not yet done. So how do you know? You see some palm fruits there. You can see some palm fruits. It's not yet ready. So you keep pounding until all these the red palm fruits that you see there, all of them, the husk is totally gone out. Alright, how you know that your palm fruit is done? You can check the kernel. You see that is clean. Alright, it's clean. So if you can't get it all out, what you do is that you will have to you might want to pound it a second time. Alright, so you put some water in the on the fire just for warming. Okay, then you wash the shaft out. Alright, this we might want to pound this a second time because of the species of the palm fruit. Okay, this palm fruit is it has a lot of flesh. It's the agric type that has a lot of flesh. So you want to make sure all the oil is out of the shaft. So we might want to do this second time. So what you do here is a way of centrifugation. What you do is the second pounding. So you separate the shaft from the kernel. The kernel is still in the water. So this is the second washing now. Now the shaft is clean. Okay, this second washing is the second time. The shaft now, as you can see, the shaft is clean and free of oil. You can see that the water is cleaner. So then the second thing you do is, and you can see that, see our kernel now is cleaner than the first time. Okay, so this is the second pounding. You can see how the kernels are washed clean. Know that now you know that the whole all of the oil is out of the kernel. So that's how to maximize your oil, because we are just using just one head. So and this one is, we just cut this palm fruit from our backyard. So maximize. So another thing you want to know is, you put it on the fire after removing the shaft. Okay, separating it from the shaft and the kernel, and you want to know the viscosity, how thick your oil is. It doesn't have to be too thick. Okay, it doesn't have to be too thick, and it doesn't have to be too light. So you also use your sifter and remove the remaining kernel and the shaft that is inside the water. Remove the remaining kernel and the shaft that is inside there. So make it just light, just sufficient water. What happens is that the water you put there will determine the oil that will come out. Don't make it too thick. If it's too thick, your oil will not come out. So it's better for you to get a big. But why we are using this smaller pot is because we are just doing one head. Okay, so if you have larger quantities, you can go for a drum and use a drum and make sure you put sufficient water. The safer side is better for it to be very light than for it to be thick. Okay, so let it be light enough. Put enough water. So now we are done with removing every shaft, and what you need to do is to put it on the fire and put your fire. Now in this stage, you need a lot of heat. All right, so make sure. Okay, now you can see that there's no more shaft. There's no more shaft inside there. There's no shaft. Again, we've sifted, removed every shaft and every kernel that is there. You can see how freely the oil, the water is coming out from the sieve. Okay, it's coming out very freely, very freely. It's not holding. So how you know it's from your sieve? Okay, if it's holding your sieve, if it's remaining in your sieve, know that it's not light enough. So next thing you want to do is to make sure you put fire enough. Get rid. When you are cooking your palm fruit, you should make provision for some wood. Now, one thing with palm fruit, you can use this is the back of the palm, the leaves and the back of the palms. They are very good. They produce a lot of fire. Okay, so this time what you need a lot of heat, a lot of fire. That is, you have to burn it. The pressure of the fire has to be very high. Okay, if not, you want to burn it, you want to boil it with speed. Okay, if not, the oil will not come, because that boiling, that the fire that boils it, it will help the oil to move down from the water and separate from the water. Okay, so you want to do that, make sure it's not on low fire. That's why I'm trying to video and let you see how the intensity of the fire is. Fire has to be intense. Okay, use your you can use the palm fruit bark, the palm fruit husk. If you have your kernel, you can use it. Bamboo is also very good. Okay, and just make sure the fire is hot, and this can boil for like 2 to 3 hours. Okay, can boil for like 2 to 3 hours before your oil now comes up. Now look at how this is how it looks like. Okay, it's like trying to start to get boiled. Okay, you can see now this is when your oil has started getting boiled. You can see that. So in this place is a very delicate time now. You don't want to waste your oil, because what happens is that the foam you are seeing on top there is actually the oil. And if you are not careful enough, for first timers, if you are not careful, the foam is going to spill into the fire. You don't want that, because if that foam spills into the fire, you will actually be losing your oil. So you actually want to get a big container, all right, a bigger pot, or actually a drum. But for this one, since we are just using one head, that's why we are using this small pot. So you see now it's boiling. You see it's foaming. So what you do to prevent it is that you can actually get a bowl and scoop some of the oil, the foam, keep until maybe when the water goes down. Okay, when the water goes down, you now reintroduce the foam, the one you scoop from on top. The other method you can use is you can get like a long stick, all right, and put it inside. Okay, just like what you are doing now, you can get a stick, all right, so that you try to prevent it, all right, from spilling. It's very delicate. Okay, look at some have already spilled. Some have already spilled into the fire. So look at, we have to scoop out some and keep in the bowl, in the rubber there. Scoop out some to reduce the quantity. Okay, so you have to put enough fire. All right, now it has gone down. We have reintroduced the other water we put in the bowl back. Okay, now you see that as the fire is burning, that foam is actually your oil. So it has gone down. So you see, it has to be with high fire, steam. You see the foam there. It's from this foam you will know whether it is done. Okay, when your oil is done, you see that this foam will begin to disappear, and it will have a kind of brownish color. Brownish. You see, we have reintroduced the oil that was in this rubber. The foam we took out, we have reintroduced it into the foamy water we took out. We have reintroduced it into the pot. So you can see how it's boiling. You have to put enough fire for it to boil, because that's when your oil will come out. Okay, it's not hard. You can get dry leaves around, get anything dry. You can see what we are using. All right, look at this the dry back of the palm. That's what you use in cooking your palm, your oil. Okay, so continue boiling. boiling in high, with high pressure of fire. Let it boil. You see, as it is bubbling, the oil is coming down, coming out, separating. So you don't want to actually cook it on low steam. All right. You see now the water is reducing. Okay, from the mark you can see there that I'm pointing at, it's actually going down. So you have to cook it with very fast. You can see the oil started floating. All right, I've been cooking this for like 2 hours now, and you can see the oil is coming up. All right, actually oil don't mix with water. Okay, so what happens here, the system that happens here is that the oil will actually float on the water while the water will be underneath. So you will later on have to use your spoon and scoop your oil. You scoop your oil from it. I will show you how you will do that so that you don't allow water to enter, and I will also show you how to actually make sure that the oil does not slip. Okay, because when you scoop it, you need to know how to scoop it to maximize the oil. All right, so stay to the end of the video. I will show you how you maximize so that you have, even from this one head, you have a lot of quantity of oil. So what I'm showing you that I see the level, how you know that your oil is getting done. You check the level of the water that has gone down. So from that, the mark of the pot. So our oil is getting done. It's getting done. You can see that the water, it has actually dried and gone down. So at this stage, you actually reduce the fire. Okay, you reduce the fire. The fire should not be much now. All right, yeah, you reduce it. You can see now our oil is getting ready. So you actually reduce the fire. It should just be steaming a little bit, right? So all this is our oil. What you do is that you bring it down and allow the oil to cool down before you start scooping. You allow the oil to cool down for like 15 minutes. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes. All right, you get a smaller pot. Then you now start scooping your oil. The oil now has come up. Okay, so the water is underneath. So when water enters your spoon, you will see the water, because the water is actually different from the oil. So this, what we are scooping now, is pure oil. All right, so see, you can see now there's water there at the base. Water has entered, so you don't pour all of it. You can see inside the spoon, you can see some water. That's water. So you put it back into the pot. Okay, so that's how you scoop your oil. You don't scoop it with water. So you scoop it like that. All right, it's a slow process, but with you can use a plate. Actually, you can use a flat plate if you want to. Okay, so but for some people, this oil now, they might not recook it a second time because the oil is very, very okay. All right, but if you actually put water, because you see these particles on top is actually water. It's actually some water on top. So if it enters, you might want to cook it. All right, this oil in the smaller pot now, you might want to put it on fire for just like 10 minutes. Okay, just to get rid of the water. So all right, we have finished scooping our oil, and this is the debris that is actually remaining. So what you do is that there's still oil, a little oil in this water. You can see the oil in our pot. You can see the oil that we have been able to scoop. This about 4 liters of oil, approximately 4. You can have like 4 bottles from just this. So you can see in the fry pan there, you can see the debris that was on top. Okay, this actually, you also cook for the oil to come out. So you get water, all right, and like a bucket of water, and turn into the pot. Okay, because there's still oil here, but the oil you are taking out of here, you are not going to put it in the pot. You use the fry pan. You put it in the fry pan. okay, and cook it separately. All right, it will still give you oil. I think the oil we got just from that is like half bottle. We got half bottle just from this. So because you want to maximize, all right, your oil. We don't want any wastage. Some other processes they actually waste oil, but this is the best so far. This is the best for you to maximize your oil. Okay, so after turning the water now, this the foamy water on top is actually oil. So you have to take it out, put it separately, put it in another pot or another container. All right, put it there, remove all the foamy water there. All on top is oil. So we'll cook that separately. We actually got half a bottle of oil just from that. All right. Okay, now we put our oil on the fire to recook it because we want to, if you want to preserve it for long, if you are not using the oil immediately, all right, the oil after you have taken out from the pot now, okay, you can see now that the water is clear. Of course, you can't take every particle of oil out, okay, but 99% of the oil has been taken out, okay. You can see it in the fry pan. So we will have to recook this also. So our going back to our pot on the fire now, you see the foamy oil coming up, that's actually the water that's remaining. Because if you want to keep your oil for long, you don't want it to get spoiled. This is what you have to do. You have to cook it a second time. All right, but if you want to use them immediately, you don't need to. Okay, and what that actually does is taste. So this is water. You sprinkle it inside the oil to know oil is actually ready. How you know that the oil is ready is that you hear some sound, frying sound like that. Then you know that your oil is ready. So our oil is actually ready now. You see the foam is out. Our oil is actually ready. So this oil is about gave us about four bottles. Okay, would have been up to four. It would have been up to 5 bottles. Okay, so but for the ones that spilled into the fire, so you have to be careful. The oil should not spill out. So this is actually the best method to maximize. So please like this page. Please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up so that others can also see and learn, because this is actually a step-by-step way, the simplest way actually to make oil. So if you have received value for this content, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, please in the comment section you can ask your questions. I'll be free to answer them.